I like Rosario Vampire for the plot. Seriously. Like, on the surface it presents itself as an over-the-top, fan-servicey kind of romance comedy, but I found that there's just so much more to enjoy beyond just the funny moments and the giant bobs, you know? To paraphrase these author notes from the manga that should just be the description for the entire manga series, the author says, "A story that blends action, romantic comedy, and fantasy. I even changed the atmosphere in each volume." Basically, what I'm trying to say is, to those who are expecting to see lots of romantic comedy and moe, consider yourself warned. It's only slightly out of context, but it fits perfectly with the overall themes of Rosario Vampire. This series is a blend of everything, you know, it's got the cute monster girls, which is what gets you interested, and then you slowly start caring about the world and these characters, and it's gonna catch you off guard. You come for the boobs, but you stay for the story, you get it? You know, it's currently October, so I figured it'd be a nice time to talk about this Halloween-inspired story that genuinely means a lot to me. And I've been posting on this channel for over a year now, so leave a like for that too. And seriously, thanks everybody for the support. You know, I'm gonna keep posting until I die. What I really want to talk about and give my kind of perspective on is why I think Tsukune and Moka are actually amazing characters. Not just for an ecchi, harem, fan-servicey kind of series, but I think in general, they are some of my favorites. Moka is the main love interest of the story, and she's a vampire whose powers are sealed by this rosary until the seal breaks, and then she can use all of her vampire powers and literally will turn into an entirely different person. And when she unleashes these powers, the inner Moka comes out, and she becomes a lot more mature and acts really nothing like the Moka that we're used to seeing throughout the school and in the story. Outer Moka is really sweet and friendly, and inner Moka is just a lot more serious. Yeah, the inner-outer Moka dilemma isn't really brought up to the front of the story, but slowly throughout the story it becomes something you just think a lot more about. You see inner Moka start to become a lot more friendly towards Tsukune, and it's season 2 that it really becomes something that's brought to the front of the story. And that's when Moka's sister Kokoa comes to school, and she's a first year, and she's resenting Moka. Yeah, but when inner Moka comes out, Kokoa changes her entire attitude, because the outer Moka that we know is not the same sister that Kokoa grew up with. You know, the outer Moka is the one that we've spent all of our time with throughout the story, and to further explain myself, I'll have to go into depth a little bit on like the big plot twist of the manga. Even if you hear me talk about it, I'm sure it won't mean much, and you can still enjoy the story thoroughly. So, the Moka we've come to love throughout the story is not the real Moka. And to summarize this big heartfelt moment in the manga, Moka's mom would have been killed by one of Moka's sisters, Aqua, who wanted to take her blood to revive the strongest vampire, their first ancestor, Alucard. But Moka, seeing her mom sliced in half, made her go crazy, and it's revealed that Moka actually has blood of the strongest vampire because when she was a baby she would have died, so her mom had to put that in her to keep her from dying. It seriously goes a lot deeper, but explaining it would take forever. And one little thing that I noticed while reading this is that when Kokoa is attacking outer Moka because she wants her old sister back, perfectly mirroring their mother when she was being attacked by her own daughter. And I just thought that was an amazing little detail. But yeah, Moka's mom gives Moka this Rosario with the last of her powers, and if you couldn't tell from these panels I'm showing, Moka's mom looks exactly like our outer Moka. So the personality we see, the Moka that is in love with Tsukune, acts just like their mom. So even though Moka's mom is gone, she is still here and protecting her, which is just absolutely beautiful, you know? And with the way things end with both Mokas coming one, is a satisfying enough way to make it work. I really can't think of another way to end her character. It's either this or we would have to say goodbye to one of the Mokas forever, and that just wouldn't have been any fun. Yeah. And the anime barely touches on this aspect, which is just super sad to see, because it goes a lot deeper than what you would think just watching the anime. But Moka is not the only character with way more depth than you might imagine, but we also have Tsukune, and he has basically just as big of a dilemma, you know? This is entirely omitted from the anime. They don't show a single moment of Tsukune's character growth for really no reason. And you know, in Shonen, and especially in the more degenerate series, the main characters are never really that deep at all, you know? They're just safe, bland self-inserts. So you can imagine you're the one that has like 10 girls fighting over you, instead of a real world where they're likely running away from you.
If you smell like BO, then none of the girls will like you. So be sure to check those armpits. This is me saying pretty please.
So Tsukune is a weak, lame outcast, he's a human who's somehow accepted into the Yokai Academy, the school full of demons, and not humans, and if anybody finds out he's human, they're gonna kill him. So at first, Tsukune can seem very one-note and boring, not able to do anything on his own, and every time he's in trouble, Moka's the one that has to bail him out. But it's really early on, honestly, in like the 3rd volume, that Tsukune gets attacked, and this time he's probably gonna die. So Moka ends up giving Tsukune her own blood to survive, and not knowing that she has the blood of the strongest vampire ever running through her. So now Tsukune has these vampire abilities, and he can now kind of protect himself. But the more he ends up using these powers, is the more he kind of turns into a vampire himself. And her blood, combined with him almost dying, is slowly turning Gune into... is turning Tsukune into a ghoul, which is not a good thing. So, to suppress this, and to stop it from killing him fully or turning him fully into a ghoul, he has this seal put on him, much like Moka. And with the crazy amount of power he has, he can still kind of use his vampire abilities, but the more he does, the more his seal breaks, and it brings him closer to being a ghoul, and further from being a human. So throughout the story, Tsukune is stuck between hoping Moka can save him, or stepping up for himself and protecting his friends from the stronger enemies and the different organizations that are coming after us, and risking losing his own life for their sake. But Tsukune makes it very clear throughout the story where he stands and that he will die to protect the ones he loves. So yeah, and during the final battle, he fully removes the seal, fully prepared for death for the sake of protecting Moka, and it is just beautiful character growth, you know? I love seeing this. Season 1 deals a lot more with Tsukune's inner struggle, and Moka's dilemma is introduced too, but it doesn't go into much depth until the start of Season 2. But at the end, both stories and both characters are wrapped up and perfectly conclude, you know. And if you want to compare the anime and the anime can come off as a lot more degenerate. The first season arguably is a bit more tame, but the second season, there are a lot of uncensored parts. The manga does have these moments, but they are a lot less, and really is not the main focus of the story. And I'm now realizing after looking at some other sources that the official English release is a little bit censored, which is lame, you know. But I don't care that much because there's just so much more to enjoy beyond that, but I figured it was still worth pointing out. And as well, Season 2 for the anime is just unapologetically entirely filter, when there could have just been so much more. But I guess, you know, like I said at the beginning, with the constantly changing atmosphere, it's probably a lot harder to capture that in the anime form with the constantly changing vibes, so they just wanted to stick with a simple rom-com kind of feel. Like, even the action is really dumbed down a lot. The anime famously ends every fight with the baddie coming in telling us how long, or really how short every fight is. The anime is very good for adapting like the funny moments and makes those stand out a lot more, but what the manga does have is just some seriously beautiful art that really only gets better as the story goes on, especially in the second season of the manga when it has a monthly release schedule and regular breaks are taken to really just perfect the art style, especially toward the end of the series. And also with seeing the censorship and everything, I also saw art that was definitely from like the magazine release of the chapters and things that would later get cleaned up, way cleaned up for the volume releases of the manga, and I just thought that was interesting seeing that. The anime version cuts so much, like the manga goes into way more depth on literally everything. Like there's so much more really good cut content that just makes me upset that we didn't get to see it after reading the manga. And all of the characters in here have at least a little bit of development, you know, some more than others, and so many amazing side characters that the anime just never introduces us to. And one of my least favorite changes, besides the lack of adapting the actual plot, you know, is there's really no Ruby. She's in there, but she just gets absolutely shafted. And she is seriously, like, at least top 3 best girls. She's very similar to, like, Darkness from Konosuba in a lot of ways, which just makes her really funny and such a likable character. And she's another witch, and kind of plays the role of like a mentor to Yukari, the younger witch, who feels kind of like an outcast, you know? I could talk about the cut content forever, and probably just triple this video's length doing that. But like I said, there really is just so much more to enjoy and love about this series, and it's just sad that the anime-only fans will never get to see the deeper side to this story, you know? Many more actual good fights and hilarious chapters that just don't get to make it. So even if you have seen the anime, and even if you're watching this now, I think the manga is still so very much worth your time. And just a couple more interesting little things to mention is all the monsters are really interesting. You know, the designs, they range from super aesthetic to just straight up horrifying. And a huge thing that I'd like to mention that you don't see much is the main characters actually like each other. You know, in most cases normally it's really just one-sided on either side, like the guy or the girl just be really uninterested, you know what I mean? So it's just nice seeing these two actually be mutually interested in each other, you know? And without too many spoilers, I wanted to quickly mention the actual ending. It isn't perfect, but if you saw my slam dunk video, I scientifically broke down why that ending was bad. But comparatively, you know, from Rosario Vampire and Slam Dunk, Rosario Vampire's ending is objectively much better, wrapping up these characters that they had built up incredibly throughout the story. And a lot of the epilogue for the story is in like a 4-koma style, but it just does an amazing job of showing what these characters are up to and what's going on at the end of the story. And it's just very, very much appreciated. That's the kind of closure you need after finishing an awesome story. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I have a few more degenerate kind of manga that I would just want to justify my enjoyment for on a deeper level and just kind of share my personal thoughts on. So let me know if you think that'd be cool. And if you want to support me, I plan on turning on the channel membership soon. You know, I'm going to post exclusive anime manga content there, as well as like different kind of videos like life stories and so much other stuff. So yeah, if you want to check any of that out or you want to support me, be on the lookout. And I'll probably make another announcement or a post or something whenever it's active. And I plan on attempting to go live again. I have a bunch of silly little plans, but my internet is just horrible. I tried to go live the other day and talk about the drama and everything with my copyright, but I think YouTube just had an update or something on mobile and I couldn't go live from there, so what the heck. But yeah, if you watched this to the end, seriously, thank you so much. And if you did, you should comment something that makes 0 sense, and I'll just reply like I completely understand what you mean. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.